pastry chef at Michele Coulon Dessertier. Which actually the name is kind of interesting. It's a made-up word. People think it's a real word, and my mother actually made up that word, dessertier. Yes, I didn't want it to be dessertier because it sounded too much like derriere, so we called it dessertier without the e at the end. And I just wanted the name to also tell people what it was. I've been at this location for 10 years, almost. It'll be June of next year, so we're thinking already of our 10-year anniversary. I've been in business for 33 years. I used to work out of my parents' restaurant for a lot of time, so I've been in business for, kind of a long time. You know, Paris is where I went to high school and a lot of times spent my lunch money buying pastries instead of lunch. Yeah, very bad. But Paris was a very big influence on me. You know, just like the food and just going to a little bakery and just getting a little ham sandwich or something and just being incredible and knowing that food can really be that good. That's why when we came back to San Diego, we decided to open a restaurant. Okay, so my family started the restaurant and I was very, very influenced by how they cooked. They made everything from scratch, they used organics. Everything was, made as if you would make it at home. And that's very unusual, believe it or not, in the baking business. There's a lot of shortcuts people use. If you could see the catalogs I get from places of stuff you can buy pre-made, you would shock you, I think. So my parents opened a restaurant, did whatever they wanted to do, and were successful. Nothing about baking from my father. My father wasn't really into desserts, and so that's why I started making the desserts for the restaurant, because he really didn't kind of pick that part of it up, and so I love to eat desserts, and I started making the desserts for the restaurant. So my parents were big influences, and then later I kind of realized who their influences were, like Alice Waters. I would say my biggest mentor in desserts would be Alice Medrick, who had cooked a lot in San Francisco and kind of combined European desserts with American desserts, which is exactly what I do. I use all those old kind of recipes, but update them and use American ingredients and kind of take, more for the American taste. People who think they want to be chefs, the first thing they should do is get a job in a restaurant. See what it's really like and work in it. Especially since culinary school has gotten to be so expensive, before you go and spend that money, go and work in the field and really see if that's what you want to do. I've had a lot of girls come here and, I want to be a pastry chef, and they've worked here for a while and they decide that it is just not what they want to do. It's way too hard. Physically, you work on holidays, you work on Saturdays. All your Saturdays are working Saturdays, so you miss a lot of social life if you are in this industry. On the other hand, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of stress, but it's also a lot of fun, and you're never sitting at a desk, and you're always on your feet, running around. So, give and take. Love the flowers, all the edible flowers, and I think that would be, I would love to be a flower. I mean, they're gorgeous, and we use those to decorate a lot. Just love them. I love to tell people, the flowers are actually edible and you can eat it. And, because a lot of times the flowers that are on wedding cakes are sprayed, usually, because they come from the florist. And the flowers you guys have, the edible flowers, that's our most fun thing. We order all the different kinds and use them to decorate. There's like little miniature orchids, and we put those on like little miniature cupcakes. I mean, we go crazy. And even the little orchids, you can sugar them, so you can dip them in egg white and put super fine sugar on them, and they dry, and they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They look really almost like they're frosted. So I think the flowers are my most favorite thing that you guys have.
This is where it all happens.
Yeah, that's all the orchids, and that's why we have to have organics, because we use organics. So it's really important that it's all organic. And that's one thing I've been really excited about specialty produce, because they're carrying organics for me. Not just for me, but they listen to what you want and they adapt to and change.